Knowledge, imagination, and teamwork. When these three blend together, ideas turn into reality. We, the members of Team Sandhya Kapoor, proudly present our project, a journey that explores depths of human thought, emotion, and reflection. Each part of our presentation highlights a unique perspective from understanding the complexity of human brain to learning from stories that inspire self-awareness and positive change. With creativity, dedication, and collaboration, we have worked to make this project not just informative but truly meaningful. Warm greetings, everyone. I am Ayush Kumar Suryavanshi. I will begin with the topic the human brain, the most powerful yet mysterious organ of our body. We will explore how it controls our thoughts, emotions, and decisions, and how understanding it helps us grow mentally and emotionally.
Hello, my name is Nikhil Kumar and I will share the story of Little Johnny. It is teach us about innocence, curiosity and how a small lesson in life can shape our understanding of right and wrong.
Hello, I am Astos Pandey. My part is The Challenge, a reflection on how obstacles shape our character. It reminds us that growth happens only when we step out of comfort and face challenges with courage.
Hello, I am Bhumi Chablani. I'll be presenting the ant analogy, which draws inspiration from the hardworking nature of ants. Through this, we will learn about consistency, cooperation, and how even the smallest efforts matter great in achieving goals.
Hello, I am Akhil Kumar and I will talk about the stop putting the wrong thing in. This focus on how our thoughts and the inputs shape our mindset and how the filtering negativity can lead us toward the peace and the purpose.
Hello, I am Prince Bhagat. In Start Putting the Right Things In, I will continue the idea by showing how small changes in our thinking patterns can bring a big difference in our actions and happiness. Thank you.
If I were to ask you, what makes us truly human? Most people might answer strength or language or even intelligence. But the real answer lies inside our skulls, the human brain. Of course, all animals have brains, but the part that sets us apart among them is the frontal lobe of our brain called the neocortex, just behind our forehead. This is where logic, creativity, imagination, and problem solving live. This is the part of us that can look at a block of stone and imagine a beautiful statue, or look at the sky and dream of rockets. It is a crowning jewel of human biology. Yet, here is an amazing fact that the neocortex doesn't fully switch on until around age 7. Before that, children operate in a slower brainwave state, which is why they sleep so much, which is why they play endlessly, and they believe in magic. They live in a world without any critical filters, which basically has two consequences. One of which that makes children imaginative, curious, and open, and the other, they're extremely impressionable. For example, Aristotle once said, "Give me a child for 7 years, and I will give you the man." Because what goes into the mind during those years becomes the foundation of one's identity. A child who hears, "You are not good enough," just accepts it without questioning. And often that truth stays with them long into adulthood. Now, here's where the story becomes even more interesting. The brain, as marvelous as it is also very lazy. It's only about 2% of our body weight, but it consumes about roughly 20% of all the energy. And that's why, to save calories, it takes shortcuts. When we repeat a choice often enough, the brain automates it. It shifts the process from the energy hungry neocortex to the midbrain, turning the process into what we call a habit. Think about it. You don't consciously decide how to brush your teeth every morning, or you don't carefully think how to drive the same route to work every day because your brain has automated those tasks. That's helpful in daily life, but the same process applies to negative patterns also. If every day you choose to procrastinate, complain, or avoid risk, your brain automates that too. Research shows that about 95% of our daily actions and thoughts are driven by subconscious patterns only. 5% of them are conscious. That means most of us are not as free as we think. Or we can say that we are running on scripts, many of which were written past during our childhood. That is why intelligent people procrastinate so much. That is why motivated people often self sabotage. It isn't lack of knowledge, It isn't lack of opportunity. It is our brain replaying old programming that whispers, stay safe, don't risk, you are not good enough. So we arrive at a paradox. The human brain is both our greatest gift and our greatest challenge to overcome. It has given us science, art, technology, music, and much more. But it has also trapped countless people in loops of mediocrity and self doubt. What does this mean for us? It means that we must remember the brain is not our master, it is our servant. If we allow it to run on default, it keeps us in the comfort zone, repeating the past. But if we take conscious control, if we feed it the right information, if we challenge it with the right questions and push it beyond the easy path, then it becomes a tool for growth and transformation. The human brain is an adapting machine. It will shape itself according to the environment and the input we give to it. So the real question is not how powerful is the brain? We already know it. It is powerful beyond our measure. The real question is how well we use that power. Because the same brain that can keep us stuck in procrastination can also set us free into creativity. The brain that can run old programs of fear can also write new programs of courage. And the same brain that traps us into mediocrity can lift us high into greatness. But only if we choose to flip the switch. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember this: the human brain is the most powerful tool you will ever own. You just need to use it well, direct it wisely, and instead of just surviving, you will start thriving.
Johnny. Johnny just 5 years old, a little boy full of life, energy, and endless questions. At that age, everything feels magical to him. The world is like a playground. Every corner holds a surprise. Every sound sparks curiosity, and every small object has the power to bring joy. One weekend, it's Johnny's father's turn to take him shopping because his mother is busy at home. On the surface, it seems like a simple father-son trip. But what Johnny does not know is that Dad is quietly carrying the weight of many invisible burdens, such as bills that are higher than unexpected, work deadlines that feel impossible, and even a recent argument at home that left him unsettled. He is stressed, distracted, and mentally exhausted. But Johnny does not know any of that. His world is his world is simple. It is full of imagination, curiosity, and desire. As they walk through the store, Johnny eyes light up when he sees a toy he really wants, placed perfectly at his eye level. He turns to his father and asks, Dad, can I have that toy? Now, let's pause here for a second. For Johnny, this is not just a toy. It's happiness, it's magic, and it is full of imagination made real. But for his father, tired, preoccupied, and stressed thin, it is just another demand on a day that already feels too heavy. That patience is worn out without thinking, without realizing how much weight is worried, how much weight his words carry. He blurts out, No, you cannot have it. You are not good enough today. And in that moment, something shifts. See, Johnny does not understand bills, deadlines, or family arguments. He does not know what stress feels like. All he hears in his small but powerful word in one message: I am not good enough. I did not deserve it. I am not worthy. Those who sink deeply into his young, impressible mind, they become like a quiet seed planted in the soil of his subconscious, and over time, without anyone realizing it, that seed begins to grow. As the years go by, Johnny forgets the toy, but not the feeling. He grows up, goes to school, makes friends, and learns about life. But deep inside, that old hurt stays quiet, hidden, and unseen. He becomes careful, often doubting himself when needs confidence. When teachers praise his work, he feels happy for a moment. But then a voice inside says, maybe it was just luck. When friend like his ideas, another voice says, do not feel too proud. You will mess it up soon. When Johnny grows up, he has everything people call success, a good job, friends, and dream to follow. But whenever life gives him something bigger, a promotion, new chance, or a brave decision, that old voice returns. It is not loud, but it does not stop. You are not good enough. And sadly, he believes it. Thinks the world called it procrastination, but deep inside, it is fear. Fear born from that early feeling that he does not deserve more. We often think trauma only comes from big events, loss, abuse, or tragedy. But sometimes it comes from small moments, from words said without care, from love shown imperfectly. A child hurts does not understand context. It only feels emotion. It turns on to truth. Johnny's father never meant to hurt him. In fact, years later, he probably would not even remember when he said he loved his son deeply. He just had a bad day, a tired human moment, but the harm come not from what the meant, but from how it felt. Years later, Johnny grows up. He is talented, smart, and capable. But whenever he faces opportunity, asking for a promotion, asking a new project, or even trying something unfamiliar, that old voice from childhood quietly whispers, "You are not good enough. You do not deserve it." This is why people sometimes procrastinate or self-sabotage even when they are smart and capable. It is not about talent or opportunity. It's just unconscious belief from early in life. Johnny's story is a reminder for all of us. Each of us has experienced from childhood small movements, words, or gestures that quietly shaped the way we see ourselves. Recognizing these movements in the first step towards breaking free from them.
This is a challenge of life. Every single morning, when you open your eyes and take your first breath of the day, you are standing at crossroads. In front of you, like two very clear paths. On one side is road of growth, the difficult but rewarding journey into the unknown. On the other side is the road of comfort, the familiar path that asks little of you, but slowly keeps you trapped exactly where you are. This choice, though it seems small, is one of the most important decisions of your life because it defines not only who you are today but also who you will become tomorrow. To step forward into growth means to embrace discomfort. Growth never feels easy because it constantly demands more of you than you think you can give. It asks you to leave behind what feels safe, to risk failure, to risk judgment, and sometimes even to risk breaking apart the person you were yesterday. Growth requires you to question your own limits, to test your patience, and to hold on to discipline even when your body and mind scream at you to go. Quiet, it is not a gentle process. It is often painful, exhausting, and lonely. But what you gain from growth is nothing less than transformation. Every challenge you accept, every barrier you break adds a new layer to who you are. You do not return the same person, you return stronger, wiser, and more capable of carrying the weight of your dreams. Comfort, on the other hand, wears a mask of peace. It whispers to you, promising safety, familiarity, and ease. It tells you that staying in the same place is better than risking the unknown. Comfort is warm, it is predictable, and it never asks you to state yourself. But beneath its surface lies a dangerous truth. While it feels harmless in the moment, it silently robs you of your time, your potential, and your future. Comfort does not demand effort, but it demands something for more costly. It takes away the chance to grow, to change, and to live a life filled with meaning. A day spent in comfort is not truly lived, it is merely endured. That is why the real challenge of life is not complicated at all. It is brutally simple. Each day, you must ask yourself, will you choose the short term pain of discipline today? Or will you allow yourself to live with the long term pain of regret tomorrow? Discipline stings in the present. It asks you to wake up earlier than you want, to work harder than you feel like, and to keep going long after your energy has faded. But then pain is temporary. Regret, on the other hand, is permanent. It does not just hurt it once, it whispers in the quiet hours of your life, reminding you of what you could have been, of what you were capable of but choose not to pursue. Greatness has never been built on comfort. No great leader, no artist, no innovator, and no achiever has ever reached their peak by choosing the easy way. Greatness is born in struggle, in the moments when the world pushes you down and you decide to rise again. It is created in those times when resistance feels unbearable, but you push forward anyway. It is carved out of sacrifice, perseverance, and the courage to keep moving into the unknown when everything inside you wants to run back to safety. So today,
As you once again stand at this crossroads, remember that the choice is yours. The world will always present obstacles, but the greatest challenge you will ever face is not the one outside. It is the battle within your own heart and mind. The voice of comfort will try to hold you back, while the voice of growth will urge you to move forward. Listen carefully, decide wisely, because the choice you make today will echo through every tomorrow. The challenge of life has never been out there, it has always been and will always be within you.
The ant analogy is a powerful metaphor for understanding the relationship between the conscious and the unconscious mind. In this analogy, the ant represents your conscious mind, the part that thinks, plans, decides, and sets goals. The elephant, on the other hand, symbolizes your unconscious mind, an enormous force containing emotions, beliefs, and deeply embedded patterns. The tiny ant, your conscious mind, is energetic, determined. It goes to seminars, reads self-help books, sets clear goals, and takes action. It is full of intention and motivation. But here's the catch. The ant is marching across the back of a massive elephant, the storehouse of old beliefs and patterns picked up from childhood. Now, with all its drive, the ant insists on heading north towards improvement and new possibilities. But the elephant below, shaped by years of conditioning, from family influence to childhood experiences, is strongly trudging south. For most of us, no matter how much our ant wants something different, the deep-rooted beliefs and old automatic habits steer the directions of our life. The problem is that the ant only controls about 5% of your behavior. Just 5%. That's like trying to steer a massive ship with a toy pedal. The ant thinks it's in charge, but really, it has very little power. Suppose someone is trying to be more productive, but constantly gets sidetracked, procrastinating, surfing the web, and avoiding uncomfortable tasks. Their ant is motivated. After all, they want success. But the elephant carries beliefs installed when they were very young, like, I'm not good enough or I'll never measure up. These beliefs aren't logical, but they form the elephant's default direction. The result, the person's progress stalls. The results don't change and they feel frustrated. This is why people make resolutions every January and break them by February. It's why someone says, I'll quit smoking, but the elephant craves the comfort of the habit. It's why a student promises to study, but ends up scrolling on their phone. The ant is determined, but the elephant is stronger. The ant thinks logically. It focuses on the future. It says, here's the path. Step by step, we'll get there. If you've ever felt inspired after reading a book or listening to a speaker, that was your ant waking up. But the elephant responds strongly to emotions, not just logical thought. If your conscious goals create excitement or fear in the subconscious, this emotional buy-in can cause the elephant to react positively or negatively. And here's the worst part. The elephant always pulls you back to your default settings. Just like a rubber band snaps back when stretched, your unconscious mind returns to whatever it was programmed to believe. Unless you reprogram it, you'll always be dragged back. No matter how determined the ant is, real change won't happen unless the elephant is reprogrammed, perhaps by creating new emotional associations with your goals. So, real success isn't about making the ant work harder. It's about teaching the elephant to move in the same direction. When your conscious goals and your unconscious programming are aligned together, progress feels effortless. But how do we actually reprogram this elephant?
I want to give you some pretty simple tips. Let me break down into three things. The first is stop putting the wrong thing in. Our brain is the one of the most powerful computer ever created. The scientist says that it has the large number of connection as compared to the stars in the galaxy. Why the scientists compare our brain to the computer? Because whatever the output is just dependent on the input. So we have to keep our brain with the positiveness and the clear input, no matter how advanced it is. Now we take the particular situation of a whole day, what the most of the people are doing. The most of the people watching the television, what they usually watch, they usually watch the fear, crime and the negative thing, which give the bad impact in the human brain. If we talk about the social media, the social media give the humiliation. If we keep telling the life is hard and the success is for other, and whatever I am doing I can able to not do, so so our brain will believe it, and afterward we perform whatever the people and the person who. Let me give an example. If a person having a big land, he has the sunlight and the water. What if the person don't give the seed? There will be the grow of the weed. If the person given the seed of the flower, then there is the possibility of the growing a beautiful garden. And I use the word possibility because there is a need of care. As I use the word weed, seed and the care, here the weed represent the negative thoughts and the seeds represent the positive thought which came in our mind. And the care is just about to protect our mind from the negative thoughts and store the positive thought in our mind. Now take the another example of an athlete. The athlete is just about the, if we think the athlete is not able to perform well when he take the fast food or the junk food, can you able to guess he can bring the gold medal? No, he can't bring the gold medal because there is a need of the particular fitness and the diet. Here the junk food refer the same the negative thoughts, and the fitness and proper diet represent the positive thoughts which came in our mind. Let's take a situation in which you are in the between of the three people. The first one is a lazy, always complaining, and the third person is just not focusing what he want to do in his life. It's not matter how strong your willpower, you will always, if you see these people you are surrounded with them is not such a proper person or focusing in their goal, so that your mind will follow their path and you will not get the successful person in the life. Let's take the alter the situation in which you will see that everyone is just focusing in their goal and following the path of their life what they want to be successful person. So your mindset will get changed and your mind will get level up and you will try to get succeed in your life. So that's our mind is just observing, watching and learning. As I have given the two example and the one particular situation in which we have learned the positive thing and the negative thing. So that's why we have to protect our mind from the input what we are giving in our brain. It must be the positive and the negative because our mind is observing and learning. So that's why there is the one thing I want to say, that if the people you are surrounded keep your surrounding positiveness, then and then only you will get and level up your brain. If you keep watching the violence, then you will be in the fearful. If you keep listening the complaint, then you will start the complaining. So this is the proper mindset we have to keep in our mind. So that's why we have to create the sounding our positive thing. I want to end with the one rule: the garbage in and the garbage out, and the opposite can also be the possible: greatness in, greatness out.
Self-mastery and the power of international information. Now the second thing, start putting the right things in. As we know, we live in a time in society where there's so much great information, whether it's a podcast, interviews, books, or lives of some of the people we looked at earlier. Every single day, or at least every single week, if you want to take your compass needle and start remagnetizing it in a positive direction, or expose yourself to information that supports your potential and greatness in alignment with where you want to go. There's no excuse for not being able to do this in a society where all this is so available. But if you are not choosing to do that by default, you are going to be hooked into someone else's agenda. If you don't start filming as the star in the movie of your own life, you will end up as a film extra in somebody else. And then the third point, get the things that shouldn't be in there out. What do I mean by that? Work with a decent mentor or coach who understand how to navigate the minefield of human behavior, or hire someone who isn't just going to teach you skills but can reach in and find those unconscious patterns and rip them out for good. I will give you an example. A client once came to me and said, I want to learn time management. A normal coach might teach them time management skills, but within 2 minutes, it was clear. Time management wasn't the issue. The real issue was their inability to deal with the rejection. So they weren't saying no to people because that triggered a rejection response. They spent saying yes to too many things, overloading their calendar, mistakenly thinking they need time management. When we start addressing unconscious programming, when we form the best habits by programming ourselves consciously and grab the compass needle to the point it toward who we want to be, even in those 95% movements we are mostly on autopilot. That's when we achieve real self mastery. Before you spend another penny on workshop or skill, work on yourself. Mastering the game of self thought of human history has been the number one recommendation from virtually everyone who actually achieved greatness and then tried to purge it benefits often to people who weren't listening. By mastering our uh, by mastering our sense of self, we can walk into a room where everything is descending into chaos and still retain our center. When everything breaking down, we move with the eye of the storm and say, "Move, I will handle it." That's how to handle uncertainty. When we commit to self-mastery, we give ourselves the best sort at becoming the greatest version who we can be. We become the example and invitation to others, not the imposition. People doesn't change because you tell them to. People change because they are inspired to change. We can only inspire them by being the example and invitation. At that point, we have a chance to make a real change in this world, make a difference which the world needs right now, and ultimately embody what Gandhi said: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Thank you, God.
Every thought we shared, every story we explored, carried a message of awareness, positivity, and self improvement. This project taught us that understanding the human mind is not just about knowledge, it's about reflection, change, and empathy. Together, we learned that growth begins from within. With teamwork, creativity, and constant effort, we turned our ideas into something truly valuable. We are Team Sandhya Kapoor, and this was our humble attempt to understand the power of mind and change. Thank you.
The topic of our video is how to eliminate self-doubt and the power of our unconscious mind. In this video, we talk about how our unconscious thoughts silently influence our personality, decisions, habits, and even our future. The core idea is to help people understand how positive thinking, self-belief, and visualization can help shape reality. We chose this topic because we believe that subconscious mind is one of the most powerful yet ignored parts of human life. Many people want success, motivation, and confidence, but don't realize that the key to all of this begins in the mind. We wanted to create something that is not only meaningful academically but also useful in real life. For our video, we chose Sandhya Kapoor, the CEO of Flipkart, a leader who symbolizes innovation, vision, and the power of belief in one's ideas. We chose Sandhya Kapoor because, as a leader, she represents confidence, strategic thinking, and mental strength, qualities that directly connect to the power of subconscious mind. Leading a major organization like Flipkart requires strong determination, risk-taking ability, and a mindset that stays resilient even through challenges. Her journey reflects how a person can shape their success through inner belief, smart decision making, and positive mental conditioning, which perfectly aligns with our topic. So far, the experience has been really exciting and insightful. We have discovered new sides of ourselves while researching, scripting, filming, and learning how to convey emotions through a camera. This project has been more than just an assignment, it has really been a learning journey. Of course, we faced some challenges too. coordinating everyone's timetable was not easy. Choosing locations and getting the audio clearly was tricky at times, and there were moments when we had different creative opinions. But we communicated, adjusted, and found solutions together, which made the process smoother. The video shoot helped us beyond textbooks. It boosted our confidence, improved our public speaking, taught us presentation skills, and introduced us to practical knowledge like camera handling, scripting, and basic editing. These are the skills we can use not just in our college but also in real life. The most enjoyable part has been filming together, sharing ideas, laughing at retakes, giving feedback, and seeing our planning turn into real footage. The creative discussions and the team bonding during the shoots have definitely been the most best moments. From my teammates, I learned that everyone has unique strengths and teamwork becomes even more powerful when those strengths are combined. I learned patience, coordination, and the importance of listening to others' ideas with respect. Working with team taught me how collaboration leads to better outcomes. Personally, I realized that I am good at organizing, planning, and structuring ideas clearly. I also improved my communication, storytelling, on-camera confidence, and even technical skills like editing and short planning. This project helped me grow in the areas I never explored before. This project strengthened our teamwork because we had to divide tasks, trust each other, and make decisions collectively. We learned how to solve disagreements calmly and focus on the bigger picture. Most importantly, we understood that teamwork doesn't mean thinking the same. It means working together despite thinking differently. My name is Ayush Kumar Suryavanshi, and in Team Sandhya Kapoor, my role was mainly narration, organizing the shoot flow, and assisting in editing. Through this role, I learned responsibility, leadership, clarity in communication, and the importance of preparation. It also taught me how to translate ideas into execution with confidence. Thank you.
भाई धन्यवाद भाई, आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो हमारे लिए। समाज सेवा।
We are Team Sandhya Kapoor, and this was our humble attempt to understand the power of mind and change. Thank you. नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है। Thank you खाते बोलते हैं। Change. Thank you. नहीं कर रहा था। नहीं ठीक है सही है। ठीक है सही है।
हेलो गाइस। चल रहा है क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं। बैठे हैं हम लोग का नॉवल स्टार्ट होना था। नॉवल स्टार्ट होना था। अरे
हम लोग सोचे थे नॉवल से करेंगे शूटिंग और अभी बज चुके हैं 11:30 और वह एक दिन में शूटिंग बची नहीं। क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? काम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, कुछ हो नहीं पा रहा है।